For most of my life, people around town knew me as the dependable one, the daughter who always picked up the check, the sister who always answered the phone, the one who never argued, never complained, never made anyone uncomfortable. I was Harper, the family fixer, and for years I wore that title like a badge of honor, until I realized something painful. I wasn't being loved, I was being used. And the moment I finally said no, everything changed. It started with a group text, nothing unusual. My phone buzzed while I was finishing work late one evening. I glanced down and saw vacation photos flooding the screen. Beach sunsets, resort pools, palm trees, sunny emojis everywhere. Mom had written, "We're planning a family trip to Cancun." I smiled at first. Then I kept reading. "You can come if you pay your own way." Fair enough. I was already used to paying for myself. But then came the next message. "And of course, Emily deserves this too, so you'll cover her expenses." I stared at the screen, my younger sister Emily, the golden child, the one who somehow always needed rescuing, the one everyone protected, the one I always ended up paying for. I looked at the message for a long time, then typed 4 words, "No thanks, have fun." That should have been the end, but it wasn't. The next morning, my phone exploded with transaction alerts, flight charges, hotel reservations, spa packages, restaurant deposits, thousands of dollars disappearing one after another. At first, I thought someone had stolen my card. My heart started racing as I opened the banking app. Then I saw the names attached to the purchases: Mom, Dad, Emily, Tom, my brother. For a second, I couldn't breathe. They hadn't asked. They hadn't warned me. They'd simply decided my money belonged to them. I sat there staring at the screen, feeling something crack inside me. Not anger, not yet. Something deeper. Disappointment. Because part of me still believed they wouldn't go that far. I was wrong. My hands trembled for a second. Then suddenly they stopped. I disputed every charge, canceled the payments, froze the card completely, and hit confirm. 15 minutes later, my phone rang. "Tom," I answered. "What did you do?" he shouted. "They won't process the tickets." I stared out my apartment window. "What I said," I replied calmly. "I'm paying my own way." Silence. Then click. An hour later, someone was pounding on my front door. Not knocking, pounding. I looked through the peephole. Mom, Dad, Tom, and Emily, of course. I considered pretending I wasn't home, but before I moved, I heard keys rattling. My stomach dropped. The spare key, the one I'd hidden outside years ago. The door swung open, and suddenly my living room wasn't mine anymore. Tom stormed in first, face red, eyes blazing. "What is wrong with you?" he yelled. Mom followed right behind him. "We were at the airport," she shouted. "Do you know how embarrassing that was?" Embarrassing. That word almost made me laugh. Not because it was funny, because it was unbelievable. "You used my card," I said slowly. "You stole from me." Dad stepped in with his usual calm voice, the peacemaker routine. "We thought you'd come around." I looked at him. "You thought I'd give up?" No answer. Emily stood in the doorway, arms crossed, mascara perfect, expression wounded. "I can't believe you'd do this to me." To her. Amazing. Somehow I had become the villain. I looked around my own home, at the people standing there demanding explanations, demanding my money, demanding access to my life. And suddenly, memories started rushing back. Every small favor, every emergency payment, every birthday gift I couldn't afford, every time I said yes because I was scared saying no would make me selfish. I had spent years trying to earn love, but love isn't something you're supposed to purchase. Mom's eyes started filling with tears. "We're family," she whispered, that word again. Family. Funny how people remember family when they need something. I folded my arms. Family doesn't take without asking. Tom scoffed. "You're tearing us apart." I looked at him. "No," I said quietly. "I'm just refusing to let you tear me apart anymore." The room went silent. Even Emily looked surprised, because they weren't used to hearing me speak like that. I wasn't either. Dad rubbed his forehead. "Harper, think about this." "I am." And for the first time in years, I actually was. I wasn't thinking about guilt, or expectations, or keeping everyone happy. I was thinking about myself, about how exhausted I felt, about how empty I felt, about how every time I saved everyone else, nobody ever stopped to ask whether I needed saving too. Emily walked toward me slowly. Her voice softened, almost childlike. "Please," she whispered, "you know I need you." For a moment, my heart pulled, because I remembered my little sister, the one who used to crawl into my room during thunderstorms, the little girl who held my hand. But that wasn't who stood in front of me now. Now I saw someone who had learned that love meant taking, because we'd all taught her that, especially me. I looked at her gently. "You don't need me," I said. "You just never had to learn how to stand on your own." Her face fell. Mom immediately stepped in. "Don't listen to her." But I wasn't talking to Mom anymore. Maybe I wasn't even talking to Emily. Maybe I was talking to myself, because I needed to hear it too. Dad's expression hardened. "If you walk away from us now..." He stopped, but I knew what he meant. If I stopped playing my role, who was I? I looked around the room, at the people I'd spent my entire life trying to please. And suddenly, I had my answer. I wasn't their bank account. I wasn't their safety net. I wasn't their solution. I was just Harper, and maybe that was enough. I took a deep breath, then pointed toward the door. "You need to leave." Nobody moved. Mom stared. Tom blinked. Emily looked confused, like I'd spoken another language, so I said it again. "You need to leave." Slowly, reality started settling across their faces. I wasn't backing down. Not this time, not anymore. Eventually they walked out. Not gracefully, not happily. Doors slammed. Voices rose. Disappointed looks flew over shoulders. But I didn't chase after them. I didn't apologize. I didn't cry. I just locked the door and stood there, listening. Silence. Real silence. For the first time in years. I walked slowly through my house afterward, straightening cushions, picking up things they'd knocked over, cleaning up small messes, and somehow it felt symbolic. Like I wasn't cleaning my living room, I was cleaning my life. Later that night, my phone buzzed. One final message from Emily. "You've destroyed this family." I looked at the screen, read it twice, then smiled softly. Because for years those words would have crushed me. Tonight they didn't. I typed 3 words. I found myself. Then I put my phone down, curled up beside my cat, closed my eyes, and listened to something I hadn't felt in a very long time. Peace. Because sometimes losing the role people gave you is the first step toward becoming who you were meant to be.